minutes late, Dana. Welcome to BFAE Entourage number 12 or 13 with everyone here mid-conversation.
And here you guys, we're trying to figure out how you're going to bring Dana.
Oh, God. Number 12, clusterfuck number 1. Okay.
Oh, God.
All right.
And how much weed did we smoke today, Todd?
Collectively,
it's only 8. It's only 8 in the morning right now.
It's later. I'll tell you what.
I don't know about you, but it's 11 o'clock by me.
What? See,
I know. Well, I was up at 5, so I get it. But still, it's only 8 here on the West Coast, and Todd has apparently smoked way too much weed this morning and forgot to go live.
I make a point here, and I'm not quite aware of what the point is. So I'm just everything she's saying is absolutely false. So I don't even know what for anyone watching.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's not yeah. Anyway, back to it. We're recording now. So let me show my app if I could, because I've got kind of a hybrid app. Dana, you know what I'm doing, right? It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So for people who don't watch these videos of mine incessantly as I post them, where do I go? I'm a realtor and I'm a mortgage guy at the same time, which is okay in, I think, only a handful of states, mine included California, until they fix that loophole. Hope they don't, though, because to be honest, how the hell was one? Oh, okay, log in. Give me one second. I'll see my screen by any chance, or?
Yeah, I can.
Everyone else probably too, so all right. Getting in there, logging in. This is not the most efficient way to log into your app. I'm the guy who Googles yahoo.com so I can find out how to get my email. So she's laughing at me. It's mostly true. So let me show you.
I totally believe it. That's why I'm laughing.
So for you guys who are like trying to decide whether like an app is for you, if it's too much work to build it, it's not. I have probably less free time than anyone I know in the world, and I put this thing together with Dana's help, of course, in a very, very short amount of time. The buttons that I have, you can kind of see it here. I've got the contact, share. This Tinder for home shoppers, that's just Nest. If you guys know nest.me, that's just a home search that's just really spiffy and nice. Apply now, loan docs, social media mastery to get my book, about me, and then like a loan calculator, rate, stuff like that. Dana, maybe you can speak to this, but would there be a reason that an agent would want to get the agent app instead of this mortgage app, if not just to get the calculator for their clients?
Well, the agent one has a calculator on it. It just doesn't have a refi calculator and a affordability. So it has purchase. That makes
a ton of sense. Okay.
And also the news is different. So like the rate trends are not on the agent tab, and the rate trends from Freddie Mac are on the mortgage one. The news is real estate news for the agent one, and then it's mortgage MBS news for mortgage, and then it has like schedule a showing on the agent one, whereas the mortgage one is get pre-qualified, all that stuff. And then you've got card tab too, and Matt is on. I see Matt's picture. Matt's got the insurance app for insurance agents as well, which is a little designed. Again, we try to customize it for the vertical, and then there's card tab, which is what Steuben has, which can be built for anyone in any industry.
Awesome, yeah. And to that point, we're thinking about getting a second card tap app from Dana. I know it sounds kind of crazy. I have 2 apps. I've got 2 lines of work that I'd like to be. So we'll talk, Dana, at some point. I'm probably going to throw card tap this
Ryan's
time.
got 2. Ryan has 3 apps. Like Lindsay, for instance, Lindsay has 2 apps. There's a lot of, it depends on what your focus and what you're trying to do with it, whether it's the funnels or whether it's utilizing as a business card or whether it's capturing information or if you're posting online or, there's so many uses for it, really. And the way Ryan teaches and the way I teach are completely different, but they mesh really well.
100%. And actually, to that point, I want to show everyone this too. I've shown them this in the previous video, like briefly, but it didn't really apply as much now. I'm gonna go ahead and show. Let me know if you can't see what sometimes it gets finicky. I apologize. But let me just get to my Facebook here. I apologize when any of my idiot friends say, "Oh, you're all my idiot friends. Who am I talking to?" So that's perfect. That's all you guys.
So I shouldn't send some like really pornographic picture I'm just totally kidding. It wouldn't be of me either.
Send it to Joe, and Joe's gonna send it to me. He's my proofreader.
Perfect.
So when this loads sometime in 2027, I'll just, okay, cool. I've been having such a hard time with Ads Manager lately. It's driving me up the wall. Let me show you. Okay, so this is kind of cool because you don't, let me just preface this real quick by actually showing my screen so you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Does this look familiar to anybody? Maybe, maybe not.
No, man, what the hell is that?
That's a very good question. I'm glad you asked. This is the ad, right? If you're in real estate or mortgage, this is the ad you run, like almost word for word, except not West LA. I dropped this text code in the bottom here, text West LA to 44222. This is just a text code I got off of Lead Pages Pro, like the lead digits.
Lead digits.
Yeah, exactly. So this, I mean, I've got like 30 of these in the different territories. They all lead back to my same app. And you'd be surprised when you run a very broad target for, maybe like 20 or 25 or $30 a day, you'll get probably like 20 to 30% of your leads for the day coming in from this text opt-in, right? From just texting in. And that's really cool because that's effectively, if you're doing the ROI calculator, if you're spending like $5 on a lead, but you only spend $5 on, let's say, 4 leads and you get 4 leads for free kind of a thing, you're really only spending about $250 a lead. So it really cuts down on your cost for obtaining these. I know that's something that a lot of people are curious about because in luxury markets, not even luxury markets, sometimes people are running like $9, $10 a lead. They're like, what's going on? Is this normal? And it kind of is just because it's so saturated. But the way to unsaturate that is to obliterate the need for a click-through. The text opt-in works just as well. Get them in. I think this will actually get them, if I understand Lead Pages correctly, this will get them into my Aweber, it'll get them into my CRM Insight. It gets them into everything just because I have it set up on Zapier. So there's free options for this, for getting this text opt-in to get your card tap app into people's phones. Like Slick Text is good, and I use that. But I really like if y'all use Lead Pages anyways, it's a very cheap upgrade, and I highly recommend it because it's going to be all integrated into that same pipeline. Does that make sense? Kind of ballpark.
Yeah.
Did I lose some people there? I hope not. All right.
I was gonna walk out. I decided to stay.
Y'all are recording all these, right?
Yeah, all of them. So you don't have to. Yeah.
Definitely have to watch it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can pause and go through it. So barring that, I mean, I don't want to go too deeply. I was going to go further into the phone funnels like stuff. Right, but I don't want to do that necessarily right now because I feel like it's all 90% of it's like, hey, use this really awesome tool, and it's like get that tool first, and maybe come back to this video and do that. But the point is that has anyone done permission-based selling here, or know what that is, what the program is? You have? Okay, was that Joe? Was that you?
Sure, yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So for people who haven't done it, I'm not sure I'm actually positive it's not available anymore. But permission-based selling is like a sales program, kind of like Show Up and Close was, but where he goes into more of a subliminal and less aggressive way to get people to convert. And one of the ways that I think that you can really use something like this is in that kind of like the benevolent salesperson thing. When you hit them with this app, you're not like, compared to just a business card, to Dana's point, business card is something you lose and it has contact information. This thing right here, it has like references to, it's almost like a miniature website that can point people to every facet of where you can, convert them to a lead or to, an acquisition or something like that. So grand takeaway is that, you can use it for a lot of things. Pretty much that's it. Do we have any questions in the Facebook group or in the people that are here right now? Let me take a look. I always jump back and forth between these.
Oh, are we like live in Facebook?
Not live in Facebook, but live anyway.
Questions about specifically the card tap.
What's that? Sorry.
Like questions about anything, like funnel questions, or just questions?
Man.
Oh yeah, I was wondering a couple things. I just jotted down real quick. Lifetime budgets are something I don't really understand.
Yeah, I don't really hit lifetime budgets. I like daily budgets, daily ad spend myself, because then you can kind of manipulate that more. Is there a reason you want to go with lifetime as opposed to daily?
Because I saw and heard out of all the YouTube I've been watching about it that they're better if you got to understand it. I don't understand it, so it's supposed to be better, but it's more for like a long-term ad running, situation. I don't know about with the real estate funnels. We run, You know, I mean, I'm just starting it, but you guys, you know, do you run a lot of long-term stuff, or you're always changing it and running different ones? So I don't know if it's good for this or not, but that's what I just heard. So I was just curious.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. That's a really good question. So I, just speaking on behalf of myself, I run short term. I like to run Thursday to Sunday because that's when you get a lot of the traffic. People are home. That's when people are out shopping for homes. If I do run it long term, I'll shift the budget where I'm running like maybe $10 or $15 a day at most on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the rest of the week I'll run it with like maybe a heavier budget, close to maybe $30 to $50 depending on the ad and targeting. And you actually get a whole lot more conversion like that. In terms of running these things for long term, there's a whole lot of reasons why that could and couldn't work. I found that when you run the same ad for a long time, the copy gets a little bit stale, the picture gets a little bit stale. Sometimes you dry up your audience a little bit and you have to make some changes. So, you know, for that reason, I would say, you know, think about these ads as, you know, maybe short-term bursts of maybe like 2 weeks at a time to get a good amount of, at most, to get a good amount of traffic, and then, you know, switch it off and know that you should change some things about that ad before you relaunch it instead of just keeping it running in perpetuity. I would say that's just what I've seen with my market, and I know that Justin, you have a similar market to mine, just on the other side of the world or country or whatever. So,
Where exactly is your market?
LA, San Diego, LA, coastal California, kind of a thing. So expensive,
Okay.
yeah. So
Cool.
the same things that don't work on most people don't work on, you know, yours. So.
Right. I have just like 2 more questions. Hopefully they're good ones too. When you run an ad on Facebook and you target like multiple zip codes, say, does that dilute the amount of leads you get if as ran it in my only area where I'm in, or I run it like all over Florida and I run it up in New York and LA? Because I have this listing that's 1.75 million, and there's not a lot of people in my area that can afford that house. So I'm thinking, well, let me just run it in these biggest cities in the country. You know, how do you feel about multiple zip codes? Does that affect the area you live in as really the area you want to focus on? You follow me?
Yeah. So yeah, I think so. So the question is, does, you know, if you expand the geographic territory, does that dilute, or does that in some way kind of draw away from the users?
Like if you had 10 zip codes versus just running it in your San Diego zip code, does that mean you're going to hurt the San Diego leads because you're targeting 9 other places? Because I was like, it's not charging me more when I target all these other zip codes all over the place. How would that make sense? You know, I just don't understand. I was just wondering if you knew about that.
Yeah, you know, that's I think a really good, actually really fucking good question. So the way you look at it, and it's gonna be kind of a long answer to short question. So I'll try to give you the short answer first, and then show you the long answer after that. You know, what I would do for that is just create 2 ad sets, right? One targeting the one, you know, New York or luxury California, wherever it is, that draw people to Florida, and one targeting the higher ends of the area that maybe instead of targeting people who live there, you can target people who have recently been there. If you want, I can show you how to do that too. But it kind of boils down. What I want to show is that you want to do this in 2 different ad sets, because if you do it in just the one ad set, you know, I don't think you'll necessarily dilute it, but what you write for Florida might not necessarily apply to the people in New York, and vice versa. It could be a very different thing. Because, for example, if you target people who've recently been in your area versus people who are just in a place that normally people move into, the people who just have recently been here have experienced it recently. So you're going to be running everything based on like a, you know, hey, remember how great it was, or, you know, you were here for a reason. You don't say it like that, but it's subliminal. Whereas the people who are, you know, haven't been here, but, you know, would be eligible to live here, you would run it, you know, the copy and everything in the sense of, you know, are you looking to make the move basically away from New York? So it would be, and it's nuanced, but I would break it down into 2 ad sets and see how that compares. And then if they're kind of overlapping in any way, in that way, then you might be able to merge it into one. But here's what I mean. Actually, let me show you that in a second. I know you had one more question. Maybe I can just kind of group them all together.
Yeah, one more was you know what? I had written something down, and I'm not sure what I had meant. I wrote down app tracker. I'm not sure why, but anyways,
it's probably tap tracker.
Is what you wrote down. I can ask questions forever about this stuff. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's so much to it. It blows my mind every day.
Hey, one second, guys. Be right back. Yeah, you know it's not good when your heater starts like clicking at you and making a bunch of weird like spazzy noises.
Or when you have a heater going in California. What the hell, Todd?
It is freezing and raining, and I don't want to hear it.
Oh, really? It's wow. It's really nice here in Seattle. No rain going on here.
Hey, I remembered one of the questions I had. The red box deal. What happened with Facebook and that? And has anyone tried the boxes like different colors, like orange or yellow, or is that just a bad idea now?
Yeah, you know, I can't speak to the different colors too much. I know that two things happen with the red background. One is they just don't post it, and one is they do post it, but you don't get any of the engagement that you paid for. And I think that the second one is worse than the first one. You know what I mean? Because you don't know what's going on. Like I said before, I ran it with white, and it worked really well. You know, the 4-picture thing works really well if you just have those 4 pictures together without a border at all. That tends to work okay too. Or just the one standardized photo is also pretty effective, I think. So those are the different options you can do. Do you know, Justin and the rest of the squad, how to? I forgot everybody's name because the only name I see here is Justin. So I was like, I know Rob, but I'm sorry, Joe.
Rob, Matt,
sorry, Matt.
Joe.
I love you guys.
Well, it also says it right beside the group chat. It like tells you the 4 people that are on this call. It says their name right there.
Requires a certain degree of literacy that I was not burdened with. So,
again, weed in the morning equals brain cells dead.
Yeah, I was not one of those guys who's burdened with an overabundance of education or knowledge. So this is fucking fantastic for me. So what was I even going to show this guy either?
We were talking about the red boxes for a minute. I don't know where we went from there.
Neither do I. Something happened to us.
Else. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So, right, so I mean,
oh God.
I don't know. I've been thinking about so many multiple things. Anyways, let me ask you: how do you change the Google Hangout to where I can just use a picture of me? And I don't care if you guys are looking at me, but I want to know how to do that because I haven't used Google Hangouts very long. This is kind of new stuff to me.
Move your mouse to the top of the screen, like a bar will show up. The third option, turn camera off. Click on that.
Okay, and then I can pick a picture.
No, it's going to be your Gmail, the picture.
Oh, I see. Okay, the pro. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so you got to change that before you. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Good question. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, so with that thing, I know that, you know, and I think it's really cool. A lot of people are like, okay, well, I want to, you know, verbatim what he's doing. They've just changed that for whatever reason. I don't know what their reasoning is behind it, but you know, that's one thing. If you're going to do the 4, you know, try with a couple different things, see what happens. But the white didn't have any drop in engagement for me whatsoever. The white, you know, background and interior. No background, didn't change anything. And again, just that single really, really nice image. One thing about the image though, you know, it depends on the funnel you're running too, because I think, you know, you're luxury, so this might not necessarily apply to what you're talking about. But a lot of us who do the first time home buyers and the rehabs and things like that, the picture you use should be really nice and represent the area, but don't use a picture out of like the $13 million mansion if you're trying to sell like a $400,000 house out here. That should go without saying. You want to entice them and it wants to be like exciting, but you should also look like what they're going to be, you know, purchasing. Because then, I mean, most people know they can't afford a $13 million house unless they can afford a $13 million house. So seeing that might kind of, you know, draw some conflict with that. That's the one thing I'll say. And when you're going through the funnel too, like, you know, you've got this is an envelope. So, you know, you've got the ad, and then you've got the lead page, and then you've got the Wufoo form. So like add right in these here. We're going caveman style this time. Lead page, Wufoo. Okay, so that in this sequence here, right? So the picture for each part of this should be like the same style of home or the same home itself, or just because the brain is weird. Like you want to visually like guide that person through by showing them like, hey, house, click on here. Okay, house, opt in. House, give me your email address, and just kind of guide them through the thing like you're dangling a carrot in front of a. Who do you dangle a carrot in front of? I figured that wouldn't really work on a dog. Dangle a steak in front of it, right?
Dog or rabbit?
Hamster.
Hamster. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Which is.
I've actually thought of like a couple good questions, and I want to ask you before I forget or something else comes up.
Yes.
Well, do you have any questions for me really quick? Because I've got to jump on another thing here in like 3 minutes.
I'm
like
sure.
anybody.
I'm sure I'll think of some, but it'll probably be too late. So I don't
Cool.
want to hold you up.
Sounds like a plan.
I'll
Todd,
write
do
it
you
down,
need me
though.
for anything else?
No, Dana, you know what?
before?
If people have questions, I'll just reach out to you later. If they comment in the status there, if you want to just go in one by one at your leisure and do that. But no, we're good. Thank you so much, Dana. This is.
Yeah, you're welcome. They can also message me on, Facebook.
We all know you. Yeah.
It all goes down in the DM. Kidding.
Bye,
Don't.
Dana.
No. Okay. Bye. Bye, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome. Thanks, Todd. I gotta figure out how to get off this thing, huh? Okay, here we go.
Red.
So, Justin, this is the first time I've used Google Hangouts too, so don't feel bad. Literally the first time.
I've only been using it for like a week. It's cool though.
Yeah. If you look okay, it's cool. If you're like just woken up and you're, just woke up, so the joint look like Todd, you're fucked.
Yeah.
I love you, Todd.
That red phone hangs up the phone, Dana. That's how you.
Yeah. No, thanks. I get it. I got it. Thanks, Todd. I do have a brain this morning. All right, here we go. Bye.
Thanks. Cool, man. So sorry about that. What was your question?
Do you guys, or just tell me your feeling on this, do you guys worry at all about when you advertise on Facebook not having your like brokerage and address and name attached to every ad because of the compliance? Because in my area, I have I'm pretty sure I'm the biggest social media person where I live, and I get worried about other realtors trying to fuck me over and turn me in and just mess with me. So what is I don't know, what do you guys feel about that? Do you guys worry about that, or are you guys like whatever? Because a ton of people don't even, and I did this for a little while because our local Space Coast board of realtors, they put out a notification like, hey, we're gonna start cracking down on this. You can't share other realtors' posts. That's a big no-no. You got to have you got to be in compliance at all times. So I was kind of worried about it. I'm like, if I lose my license, I'm screwed because I'm doing well now in real estate. But without this, I don't want to get in a shitty position, or I don't know. Is it something to worry about or not?
So, I mean, this is what was relayed to me by Carol Ferrer, who was, I guess, the person responsible for these policies at NAR back when. She spoke in front of us and all these different things. With regards to the license number, you don't need to put your license number in your ads, and only if the page is a direct representation of yourself as a sales associate or a broker, do you need to put your license number on there. Now, of course, consult your broker, consult your local board, but for the hot homes pages, you do not need to put your broker's license number on there because that's not an endorsement or solicitation of yourself. Now, of course, in those, you happen to be adding to that page. You do not need to have your broker's number on every page that you add, right? So it's like if you have a garage sale that's unrelated completely to real estate, right? If you have a garage sale group or something like that, you don't have to have your broker number on that. Just like if you have a community page in which community events are discussed, and if you happen to have ads run, of course, in your landing page or something, maybe have a very small link to your privacy policy on Keller Williams' website and do that. But to my understanding, the only time at which the broker's license needs to be disclosed is when you make yourself known as a sales associate reaching out to that person. Please check with your broker and your board about that, but that's how it works out here. And that's how I avoid getting chewed out about this. So I don't put my broker number on any of these things, even though I am the broker myself. I just use my personal BRE.
Okay. I still don't totally understand that, but I get it a little bit.
It's confusing.
So on my I have a realtor fan page, like most of us have had or have done at one point, right? And so if I make an ad or do something from there, since it says Justin M. Howard licensed realtor, that's the name of the page. That has to have just my license number or like full address and everything and my name,
Your page, your personal fan page.
Yes,
that does.
Okay.
So you're going to run the ads from, though. Now that's very different because you're not going to run ads from that page, right?
I was running ads from that page before I knew how to do it, before I knew any of this. And you know what? I was having pretty good success. I had one ad that got like almost 200 leads. It reached like 60,000 people, and it was with no funnel stuff on it. It was just me when people were commenting. Like there were so many comments because this was a house for $100,000, so everyone and their mom can afford that. So I had studied other people on YouTube and Ryan too. This is before I purchased, the digital program. And so the ad was hot. I was getting 5-10 leads a day, sometimes 3-4 sometimes. And I would just sit there, and when like 10 people in a row would comment, because they would tag a friend and who needed a house or whatever, I would comment back, tag every single one and say, hey, thanks, DM me, text me your info, your email, and get back to you, and just kept doing it over and over and over again. So
Yeah, you should keep
I forget what I was really getting at telling you that now. So, yeah, but anyways, yeah, I forget what my point was at.
Oh, Rob was going to comment that.
What I was asking you right before I started getting all into that.
I think so. I mean, you're saying you ran ads from that page with
Yeah. So what my question was, Todd, I was putting all the info in there, not my license number, but I was putting, Justin Howard, Kelly Lawrence, Brevard, address, yada yada. And I'm pretty sure I've ran ads without it before from that page that represents me. Should I go back and just delete everything and delete the page? Because the last thing I want to do.
No, just brother, just go to the page and add your broker number.
Oh, just like in the information areas of the page.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's all you have to do. Yeah. For the hot homes page is all I'm saying, because you're not going to create, if you go by that checklist and by the framework, you're not going to run those ads. I mean, the schema with this particular program is you're not going to run ads from your personal page. You're going to run from a community page that you're going to build called Hot Homes of your area, or living in your area, or whatever it is, going to be community oriented. You're going to run ads from that for a variety of reasons. I think number one, just to skim over it shows up higher in your news feed. Number two, it's not, look, we're all good looking dudes, but we all get up on that news feed, and you got me posing like this, like all realtors do, and it's like, do you want to buy a home? It's like, the answer is no, even if you do. Let's be honest.
I know. I'm guilty of it too, but it makes sense once you're exposed to once you're exposed to all this, you understand why that's garbage. And to the typical realtor person, I see realtors in my area running their fan page all the time, and all it is them back to back, their team or like their logo, and I'm like, God, now that I understand this, it looks so silly,
Like, man, it's like you were on the ground, like ground level, looking at things, and right now you're at the top of the building looking at everyone else on the ground, right?
Oh, I know. Dude, this is the best $2,000 plus 300 a month I could ever possibly imagine spending. Like,
I love it. I love hearing that, man.
It's ridiculous. It's so hard for other people to understand it, and it's not like I'm telling hardly anybody about it, but like, until you experience it or you see it all, a scope and magnitude, and you understand it, you just have no idea. And it's hard for anyone to, look at it from the outside and realize what that is, so
Totally.
Cool stuff.
Totally.
God, I had another couple really good questions I want to ask you.
Yeah, man.
I'm thinking real quick. What was it? You guys, we got anyone else on here who's like, besides, I'm sorry, I can't remember the other guy's name. I've seen him in videos, and I know he's a badass. What's your name, bro? I can't see it.
Hey, Justin, Rob.
Rob. I didn't even know if your audio was on. All right, Rob and Todd. God,
I was gonna say another way you can run some ads. You do any like retargeting type ads at all yet?
I haven't gotten that. You know what? I just remembered the question. I haven't gotten to the point where I'm really getting honed in on my targeting and the interest and all that. I know all about it, and I have done some of it, but right now, here's my question I really wanted to know. If you make, because I'm just making a lot of groups right now. I'm making hottest, the best one in my flagship is like hottest homes Brevard County, because that covers my whole county. But then I started thinking, I was like, well, I want to make niche ones too. I made hottest homes Beachside Melbourne, hottest homes Palm Bay and Melbourne, hottest homes Vieira and Suntree. And then I started thinking, well, I need to switch up the name a little bit. So then I was going to make 3 or 4 more, one similar, like Prime Deals, Merritt Island, Rockledge. What do you guys think about the naming of the pages? Or is too many groups not a good idea? Or you just like lay stake to them all? Because I know these other realtors are watching me at a high level. So I want to take them all up so that they can't kind of rip off this, the formula.
Yeah, I got a comment about the structure, but Rob, do you want to go into anything while I kind of articulate myself and figure out what I'm trying to say here?
Yeah, I was just talking about setting up another page that almost resembles your personal page.
Like a group or a fan page?
No, just like a fan page. So the strategy to that is you're gonna run some ads that you build up audiences up from your other pages, like your community pages. And it's going to scroll through the feed. Is almost look like it's like a personal profile type post.
Oh, so you mirror your personal.
Yeah, you mirror your. Yep. So
write that down.
It's going to come through the feed, and people are going to, and you run it like a page post engagement, and people are going to like interact with that. And the reason I bring that up because you you brought up how you had a lot of people engaging with that one post in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost going to be like the same structure. You can pick off those leads and take them to like the DM,
Uh-huh.
and then get them to book an appointment with you.
Yeah.
But it'll scroll through the feed and won't look so much like an ad right away. It'll catch people's attention. It'll look like almost like a personal profile pic with a ton of engagement on it.
Yeah. So I have that's really cool. So I have a fan page. It's not the exact same.
That's it.
What's that?
Just use your first name and last name on this page you build. That's it. Don't put like.
Okay.
Don't put real next to it.
I have two personal pages. You guys only know about the real big one, but I have another Justin Howard, which what you just said, just first and last, and it's got over 1,000 friends. So it's like, is it a bad thing to have too many similar? I mean, what I was really thinking is, should I mirror it exactly, or should I make? Because I have a Justin M. Howard / licensed realtor. That's the title of my first fan page. It's my realtor fan page. Should I just scrap that and make the mirrored one like you were describing?
No, I mean, you can just keep it. You already have it. You already have it built.
Right.
There's other ways to leverage that later, but I'm just talking about like when you're running these community ads. A good way to get some cheap, they'll be cost-effective leads, but to build up an audience from these community pages that you're running right now, and run some ads behind those ads with this other page that looks like a personal profile page.
Okay, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I can make you like a quick little video to show you how to do it. That way it's easier to.
While I'm listening, I'm trying to remember the other questions that I had. So, anyways, how long have you guys been a part of this? Oh, I know, Todd. Didn't you tell me 2 years? For you?
You mean doing funnels or?
Yeah, just been involved with Ryan and all that.
Oh, I mean, I've been a client for about 1.5 years and been working for about 1 year. Yeah. Yeah. Rob's an OG though. Rob's been doing it for way longer. He's everyone's uncle over here.
No. Yeah, I first met Ryan in 2013.
Awesome. And are you in Texas, Rob?
No, I'm in Philadelphia. I'm on the East Coast.
Philadelphia, that's cool.
Yep.
Was it Philadelphia? No, Westchester, Pennsylvania. I got a listing, co-lists from social media up there. I was thinking it was maybe the same.
Yeah, Westchester's about like maybe hour plus away, not too far.
Nice. So what CRM do you guys use? Do you guys use a CRM that's just like total social media integration badass system? That's what I'm looking for.
The best one is the one that you'll use actually.
Right. I just use Edge. I'm not very good with CRMs yet. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best one before I really spend a lot of time like putting everything in there, because I have thousands and thousands and thousands of contact sets. Like it's ridiculous. I'll just hire
on desktop or mobile. Are you on the road a lot? Are you in front of your computer a lot?
Both.
Okay.
Depends. Lately, I've been in front of the computer a lot lately for obvious reasons, trying to figure out all this stuff. So
I feel like test CRM is based on like their mobile apps too, because a lot of times they'll be on the road or functioning off the phone a lot.
What do you
really want to make sure that I use a combination of Pipedrive and it's like a built one, but I had someone build me a personal one. But I would say Pipedrive is good for the mobile app.
I'm seeing
Minddesk is good on.
Cool. Okay.
Minddesk is good on desktop. Yep. Yeah, exactly what Todd has over there.
That's sweet. Awesome.
But that's what I asked you. Where's that big listing at? What location?
Oh,
that you have?
Asking me?
Yeah.
It's my dad's house. It's 39 Riverside Drive in Cocoa, Florida. It's a 5-story brownstone custom build. My dad is like one of the 3 most successful entrepreneurs, commercial contractors, and real estate investors in my area. And he's got multiple homes. It's just a home he has on the river in Florida. It's got a 2-story dock, wine cellar, movie theater. I mean, it's amazing. But if you want to look it up, it's 39 Riverside Drive, and the MLS number is 757570. But I got another waterfront luxury just down the street from it that's more sellable. My dad's house is overpriced and he doesn't care because he doesn't need to sell it, but I've got it out there. I'll probably have that listing for a while, but I'm trying to double side it. Let me ask you guys something else. My marketing plan now, and I'm sure it's the same with you guys, is, get the seller excited about, hey, I'm really good at direct marketing. I'm generating a lot of leads. Let's sell your house. Let's exclude the MLS. You don't have to have the box on your door and be worried about showings. I don't even need to do open houses. I'll save you some money by listing it at, say, 5.5, and I'll put a clause in there that if I sell it myself, which I plan on, you only have to pay me 5, and we'll start this right now, the process, and show them on my iPad what I'm doing. Do you guys have anything to add to that, or how do you feel about excluding listings from MLS and stuff like that?
So is your sole purpose to double pop these deals?
Well, yeah. I figured, I live in an area that's not humongous like the areas you guys live in. So it's just like, hey, if I got this much marketing potential, and if, I'm getting this many listings and I'm not in a rush, why not try and double side each one? Because so far I've double sided every one of my listings. I haven't sold a lot of listings yet. I've got a lot of listings, but I want to keep that going, because like with price points like 1.75 and 930, shoot, if I double side both of those, I can take a little time off, take a cruise or something. So
Exactly.
I just didn't know if you guys had anything to add to that. Or
you have the clientele for it.
What's that?
If you have the clientele to promote this listing before you put it out to the market, I would start that way as well too, because that way you have more control of the whole deal. You're bringing qualified buyers to this deal.
How many group pages do you guys use or have, or is too many, or that's something I'm really wondering a lot lately.
You mean like groups or actual like or pages?
I guess both. Do you have more pages or do you have more groups?
Probably right?
Yeah, I would say more pages.
Pages, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I have like a little less than 200, but for groups I have less.
Less than 2? Shoot, that's a lot of pages.
200 pages, Rob?
Yeah. Well, that's because I'm doing my like e-com stuff still.
Oh, that's badass though. That's a lot to manage for sure, right? How do you manage all this?
Virtual people.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Robots are cool from the Philippines.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Well, for real estate, definitely like you want to keep things simple. Don't overcomplicate it.
I wrote something down on an index card, which is obviously the best way to do things. There's two ways of going about the whole like page thing. I know you have like a whole bunch of pages, but the page should be kind of like more like a step back from the individual neighborhoods, I think, and run the ads to the neighborhoods. So what's a hot neighborhood in your area?
Asking me, a hot neighborhood. There's a lot of them. Like I would like to say the neighborhood I grew up in, the Sanctuary on Riverside Drive. The average price point is like $500,000, 600,000. I don't know if you consider that hot, but I like that neighborhood. That's a hot neighborhood I'd like to be predominant in.
Yeah. Cool. What are your numbers at? I would do what Todd's saying. Like, your market's numbers. Like
I'm coming up on 1 year as an agent. I'm still pretty new, so no, I'm not that savvy to that yet.
You can still get that though in your MLS. Go to CoreLogic. You should have that in MLS. Take a look at that, because that gives you a full rundown of all the market data for the past, I think, 36 months. Rob, is that? I don't know. I always go back.
Yep, exactly. Because you want to go after markets where there's like high turnover, days on markets like under 30 days. You want to go after those type of markets.
And I looked that up in MLS under CoreLogic. Is that what you said?
Yeah. It could be branded as something else, but the actual service is called CoreLogic. Okay. Your MLS should have that. Unless, East Coast might be different. Rob, is there a different name for that out there?
CoreLogic, I think you could use CoreLogic. I just use my standard MLS to find all the data.
Oh, so you don't even use, so you just go, you pull the raw, okay, so you pull the raw data in too. You don't have to use CoreLogic if that's.
But you can use Core too.
Absolutely.
Core, actually.
Yeah, I like because it gets these nice graphs, and I present this to my agents, and I don't like.
Because you can really go into certain markets, especially if no one's dominating a certain market. If there's like, an agent there that if there's no market share domination, then you can go in there and take over within probably like 90 days or less. If you know your numbers.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just thought of something. Do you guys actively run or know someone who's good at running funnel ads for recruiting agents, Keller Williams?
I'll speak to this one a little bit. I know Rob's with them right now. But I have a really quick story. I tried that. I put a whole bunch of cash into it. It didn't work for me because I did it wrong. There is a right way to do it. But what I started doing is just getting leads and then just promoting leads organically. So, hey, I've got a bunch of leads. You want to come on board? So that kind of thing. But Rob, are you doing something as far as the funnel? Because I would love that.
That's what I'm doing. I'm looking with that. Yeah. Now, I run recruiter ads, but I didn't get much results, so I was wondering. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting. It's hard.
Just tell them what they want. You know, it's like a lot of times they don't really get what Keller. Like for me, I mean, I don't. The reason I started my own company is I don't see any particular value of one brokerage to the other. So instead of the brokerage, which is what you're going to be selling with recruitment ads, are you going to be working with these people like a team kind of a thing, or are you just going to be pulling them in for the recurring?
Yeah. I mean, well, I generate way more leads than anyone where I work. So obviously, I'm the type of guy who likes to keep my life easier. Yeah. I would rather have great people helping me and say, hey, you can have 40% of this, whatever, depending on the price of what it is. But I'd like to get a really good system in place where I can get a lot of people here and then just lead generate and then literally do nothing but space.
Yeah, that's all we should do.
Other stuff like that,
That's all I do.
Yeah, and that's a high leverage, good business plan. That's what I'm into. Since I've been here, I've sent in the most recruiter leads than anyone here, like 6 months straight. It was number one with recruiter leads. But what happens is it's hard to get, and most of them were people who are looking to get into the business instead of realtors who are already selling, which is what I want is them. But they're harder to get to move. As you know, it's hard to get anyone to move brokers, So I don't know. I'd really like to see if you guys know some successful people running funnel ads that are getting recruiters, people recruited that way. I'd like to see it if you guys can share that with me. Or if you guys know a name, I can just check them out or something.
Yeah. I'll send you a message.
Cool. So how long is this this webinar going?
Oh man. You got the floor. So technically another 11 minutes if we want to keep it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's good. I just want to know, I don't want to sit here and just like drain all your guys' time, but this stuff's cool and you guys are cool.
Yeah.
I like talking to you. Let me see. God, there's going to be at least
back in 1 second.
Questions I can think of. I would maybe like you guys to take a look at my ads and business pages. I got a lot of business pages. I got 2 different profiles with business pages and groups connected to each one. My thinking was I've been going after recruiting and buying and selling from the start, so I just divided it. I made another page that focused on recruiting and the Keller Williams, model and all that. So I have a Keller Williams business page attached to that personal page, which is just Justin Howard with no middle name. So I've run some pretty good, some okay ads that got a lot of reach, but I've probably spent a good amount of money on ads for me at least, and without the funnels. So it's just kind of like now I want to really fast track the perfect ads with the funnels to make up for all that time I was running like 20 ads with no, Woofu, AWeber, all of that fancy stuff. So I'll be excited. I got a funnel fully made. I walked through and pretty much I think by this weekend I should be running them because I'm really kind of perfectionist with stuff and I don't want to do it till I feel like it's there,
Yeah, that's a good point, man. The whole thing is like you can take a lot of imperfect action. Am I hearing myself twice? Am I going crazy? You're going to be taking a lot of imperfect action, and what that means is that you're going to be getting, you're going to just really quick take a look at this thing. Share my screen. Talk about imperfect action. This is probably the best funnel I ever ran. Let me see if I can find it here.
Do I need to click something to see this? Oh, I see now. Okay, I see now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to hop back over to Ads Manager here. Okay, let me scroll back down. This is that one I was showing you a second ago. I just want to show you my huge goof up that, even though, how far are you? Even though I made this like pretty critical error, it still turned out okay. 65 leads, $115 per lead, $75, 65 leads, $1 million area. So it's okay, but this bottom part right here, you see this? Can you see this insider info on Best Condos West LA?
Yeah.
This chunk of text right here, that's not supposed to be there. I copied in the wrong chunk of text. He puts it step by step, and I copied the wrong thing in. Still ended up okay, just based on the fact that So the point is like take imperfect action. Run it, let it go for a few days. It's one of those things, and a lot of people maybe where are you? A lot of people probably balk at hearing this, but There is no exact science. What all this stuff is, it's like a very, it's a framework, right? With a framework, there are details you have to fill in based on just trial and error. So you're probably going to run, an ad and maybe see not a whole lot of engagement, or you could run an ad and see more engagement you've ever run or pulled in from the other ones. It's not fully random. I don't want to say it's completely random because that's dishonest, but it's so dependent on just fucking everything, like market conditions, the weather. I mean, you'd be surprised how the weather would affect your ad spend. That sounds like it's insane, but it completely does. I love rainy days. Hate sunny days when I'm running ads. Why? Everyone's at home.
Oh, I see. I was thinking for a minute, I was like, what does he mean? Oh, okay, everyone's sitting inside. Okay, that makes sense.
Exactly. So when it comes down to these things, it's like, as long as you get the basic things down, which is like, how do I structure my offer in the copy? That's one thing. How do I make it look appealing with the headline? How to give it a good call to action, all from the ad. Okay. How do I get the landing page to look exactly like Ryan's does in that thing I sent you? You get those basics in, all integrated like that. Everything else that comes with it, you're just going to have to, and it's going to be a learning experience too, because as you move forward and as you kind of broaden this out, you have one ad you're going to run right now. Eventually, I mean, Rob's running several. I run about 4 or 5 at a time, sometimes up to 8. It depends on, if there's stuff going on, different areas. California's the big state, and I'm a loan officer, so I do the whole thing. But the point is that you're going to learn a lot of insight, not just about how your clientele respond to your content, but how these ads even appeal to your clientele. I mean, so it's going to be like really, really cool. And I don't want to overstate that kind of thing, but the learning experience that comes with that, knowing your market, and I know you've been doing this for about a year, so you have a good amount of insight. But seeing how those people would then respond to how you sell them, I think for me, it really gave me a different perspective on how I should be selling, how I should be offering my stuff on the internet, how I should be responding to them when they respond to me, kind of thing. So it's cool. But, the sooner you get there, the sooner you just run something and start seeing some traffic with it, as long as you do it the right way, the Stuman style, I think you're going to rock it, man. I really do. I mean,
yeah. Well, I'm running a tiny bit of ads right now, and I was running a lot, but I said, hey, I'm just going to shut all this down until I really do it the right high level way. Why not? What should be, if you're doing this right, what's your cost per lead or click or however it works? What should you be spending a day, or is that too much of a variable?
That's one of those things where that's where the variance happens. That market where I showed you, where I got $1.15 per lead, I could run that right now again 1 year later, almost to the day, and I could probably get something like $10 or $15 because some small thing changes. The important thing to think about is if you're running a really broad target, like if you're not specific, you just run like everybody in the world. It's gonna increase your cost a little bit. The more specific you can get, which is why retargeting is so freaking important. Once you can get down there, the more specific you can get, the lower your cost per acquisition is, substantially so. I mean, so that's the one thing. Instead of giving like an exact number on that, because I think that's going to be like kind of intellectually dishonest, because I don't know what the exact number is. Just know that there are some tells. I'm gonna show you one right now for you to be able to see when your ad is no longer performing the way you want it to. And I'm gonna get back over right now.
How much are you spending per day now?
Myself?
Oh, Justin. Sorry.
Justin, man, how much you spending per day on your ads?
My mic on?
I can screen share and show you all my stuff if you want to check. Hold on a second.
We're just like an estimate. Do you know what your
no, I really haven't analyzed it to that degree, because what I've done is experimented so much with different budgets. I mean, I couldn't even tell you an average. I'm sure. I'm gonna glance over it right now and tell you what my average has been lately for what. Right now, all I've been running lately is a coming soon ad for my new listing in Rockledge. It's like a 245 listing, so it should. This is going to be my first time with this listing, going in with the seller with the marketing plan of, hey, we're going to exclude this, and I'm hoping to sell it within 60 days, and we can go to the MLS if you want. But she's got a lot of faith in me, and she follows me on social media. So this is kind of a first, and if it works out really well, I'm just going to continue with trying to take them off the MLS, because why just show them to all the realtors? Just show them to all the people instead. Let's see here. I'm in my page. Let's go to to see I need to go to Ads Manager to see the budget stuff, right?
Yeah.
What's the real difference with like the Ads Manager and the Power Editor?
Utility, I think, and complication is what it comes down to. Let me stop presenting. if you know for a fact you need to use the power editor, you'll know. If any other reason, stick with ads manager. It's one of those things like, you know, you don't know you have arthritis until you have it, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Power editors for like super complex dynamic product placement ads, things like that. Like if you're a retail store and you have these like, you ever see those ads that have like really custom tailored like clothing or shit like that gets sent over to you, but the copy looks very generic, but it's like the image itself changes. You ever get those in your newsfeed? That's done by Power Editor, and that's like way more complex than what we're just trying to get. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like when you want to simplify what we're doing, it's almost kind of funny. It's like, guys, pretty house, nice copy, click on this. Pretty house, get information, click on this, and then you have the Woofu and the Aweber. And I know it's really simplified, but that's mentally what you're, what you're drawing them to. Everything else is a reason for them not to buy from you. Real quick, I want to show you one thing, Justin, that might help you, because instead of worrying about the cost per se of these, let me just present this. This is my tell. Can you see my screen here?
Yeah.
Okay, so take a look at these, and this is in your campaigns. When you click on your campaign, this pops up. It's your campaign insights. Take a look at the shape of these two things here. You see how this one kind of goes, day 1, day 2, day 3, it's peaking. The cost is really low. And then it starts to decline sharply in like 2 days.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That tell right there is that this ad has gone stale for my target or for my copy, or for just change it. The same way is down here. The green one down here is how much you're paying per click. And up here is how many results you're getting for each day. So as these converge, what this green one is saying, now you're paying a shit ton more. And now this one is saying now you are going to be getting a lot less. So at that time, pull this and change it, right? So that's what I'm saying. Instead of worrying specifically about the cost itself, worry about the motion, the dynamic flow of the cost per click, and the engagements and the actual lead flow. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Yeah, it does. I still need
to watch the shape. Yeah.
Kind of look at it a little more, but I see what you're saying. I was looking at the cost for me the last week, and I'll just tell you some numbers of what it's. Let's see, get back to it. So today, so far, I've spent $2.37. Yesterday, $12. Day before that, $9. Day before that, $9, $11, and the day before that, $20. I don't know what day that was. That was on the 16th. I spent $20. But if I go back in my history, I mean, I've gotten it up to there to where I've spent like 100 in one day or more than that, which I know is probably small compared to some of the days you guys have had. But yeah, that's a little bit of what I've spent the last week or so. But
what's your cost per lead? I mean, how many leads are you getting in that at that point?
I only have right now. So far, I've only had one really high-performing ad, which was sending me a shitload of leads. But I've ran so many other ads around it as experiments, like around the same time period, that I got a lot of leads in, and I wasn't sure if they were coming from that one or some of the other ones. But I know there was an abundance coming from this. I call it mass 95K leads, which is Palm Bay House. And I ended up getting the buyer on it. It was my listing. So I'm about to turn it back on. I had turned it off because, I don't know, I just ran it forever, and then I sold the house. And that brings another question up. I sold the house from the ad. Kind of just and then I edited the ad, and I said, sold at the top. So I just keep it on forever if it's working. I mean.
You're getting leads.
What's that?
You getting leads from it?
Yeah, they're all leads though for people who want to buy a house for 95 to 100,000. So they're not even leads I'm crazy about, but I was just collecting them and referring them out. I referred them out to 10 agents in my market center. I referred them four leads a piece.
As long as you're getting paid on them.
What's that?
Yeah, if you're making money from them, then
yeah. Well, the thing is that I referred some of them out at like, because I'd never done this, I didn't know the best way to do this. So I was referring them out at 50% to start, and then I lowered it to 40%, and they were still coming to me for leads. So I just wanted to get a lot of them out there because,
that's good. That's a high percentage.
Fuck yeah.
I only get 25%.
None of them closed one yet. I mean, it hasn't been that long since I gave them to them, but it's just like, in that situation, I should probably just still database all the emails and drip on them, even though I've referred them to them, right? I mean, is that?
Yeah.
Would that be dickhead stuff, or is that cool?
Yeah. Justin, man, before we hop off, what I want to do here, if you could send me a private message, I want to connect you with one of my I know you've got lenders you're working with down there, but the people who are in the MFBA, who is like kind of the BFA lenders, tribe lenders, things like that, they use a tool called Listing Booster. It's that fourth link on the sidebar right there. what Listing Booster does, if you don't know, it basically subverts the need for the MLS. I mean, they run traffic to not just to homes, but to listings themselves. And it's not something you pay for, it's something the lender pays for you, to my understanding.
Okay.
So if you want, I can connect you with the dude out there.
Definitely.
What's that?
I'd like to know more about that, what you just mentioned. I just wrote down Listing Booster right here. So
Yeah, man. I'll go into the group. I'll find out who's most local to you, who's doing this program, and I'll connect you guys via chat if that's okay.
okay. Just one more quick question. You guys don't need a long answer. I'm just curious. Is there a need for me to like learn and get into ClickFunnels too, or is just like lead pages is it? That's what you guys recommend.
Lead pages. ClickFunnels is like Power Editor. Like you'll know when you need it when you have to build some crazy ass thing. For what you're doing, lead pages is perfect. Perfect. Plus you get lead digits if you want to, and that's great for Dana's app when you get that. So
awesome, guys. All right, thank you so much. That was a lot of good info. So I'll be on these every time. So
cool, man. Looking forward to it. Hey, Justin, Rob, thank you both so much. Oh, hey, for everyone watching right now, next funnel chat Tuesday, Rob is doing some cool stuff. Rob, do you want to speak to that for a second before we hop off, or?
Yeah, I had some requests to do a listing type funnel, seller funnel. So that's basically what I'm going to go over on Tuesday. And I'm going to go over some 5 times some auto funnels as well too. I know I've seen some talk about that, so maybe I'll show both.
nice.
As well. So
Nice. I'm surprised there's not more people in this. Is it like this often? Is it super busy in here?
Actually, I don't know the answer.
Man, that's the whole thing. It's like this is the 1% of 1% of people who show up here.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it better for like me, I guess, and us, because we can just micro, manage it. But thanks, guys. Appreciate it, guys.
No problem.
Thank you, guys.
Sounds good.
All right. See you guys later.